Yesterday afternoon, as my youngest son prepared himself to go visit his friend outside, I looked at him and saw he wasn't putting on thick winter jackets. I now instructed him to remove the jacket he was putting on and go replace it with a thicker jacket. He refused. You know, these abroad children, they like doing what they want. Now I asked him to look outside, that it was freezing cold. Snow was falling that yesterday. He said it does not matter. But I knew why he doesn't want to put on thick jackets. He wanted to show his designer's wear. And this is what he does most of the time. Anytime he bought new clothes like designers, he does not want to cover it with winter jackets. He likes to show off with it. But I've told him, these people you are showing off to don't even know you. Why expose yourself to harsh weather condition like freezing weather condition? He just zoomed off. So later in the day, that was in the evening, he came back. 10 minutes after he came back, I found out he was coughing and sneezing seriously. This got me upset. I now went to him. I went inside his room. I said, but I told you to put on thick jackets. Each time you go out and come back, you always sneeze and cough. I do not know what is wrong with you. Because I have been in this country before you were born. I was once like you. Even when the weather is very cold, you see me, don't cover my designer's wear as a young man then. I want to show off until I nearly died of cold. So one day, one old woman asked me why wasn't I putting on thick jackets? That I shouldn't be. She felt that I was like, making show with my designer's wears. I want the people to see me as a man who was putting on designer's wear. So I later realized that it does not matter. These people don't even know who I am. So why should I expose myself to freezing weather condition? So after then, I began to cover my body whenever it was cold. So as my son came back yesterday, he was sneezing all the time, coughing all the time. He said he didn't think he would go to school, today being Monday. I said, why? Why don't you want to go to school? I questioned him. He said because he wasn't feeling okay. I said, you must go to school. I do not want your teacher to call me and ask me why you are absent in school. So this morning, the alarm woke him up. When he woke up, the coughing and sneezing continued. Even while he was taking his beds, he was still coughing and sneezing. I thought to myself, I said, should I stop him from going to school or do I still send him to school? Well, he dressed himself. I said, oh yeah, go to school. I asked him when the school would dismiss. He told me the school would dismiss around 5 p.m. I said, no problem. I'll be home then. So an hour and a half after he left for school, my telephone rang. It was the school teacher. Now she said they want to send my son home because he is coughing and sneezing. He is sick. So they want to send him home. I said, okay, they should send him home. But she said, why did I send my son to school when I know he was sick? Now I questioned the teacher. I told her, I said, whenever I keep him home, I said to her, each time he was sick and I keep him home, you would call me because they have different teachers for different subjects. You see one of the teachers call me and ask me, why wasn't my son in school? You see me explaining why he wasn't in school, why he was absent in school. And in most cases, they would demand an apology letter, like I would have to go to the doctor and get doctor's report and bring it to the school. You see that stress. They don't believe me when I tell them that my son is sick. So they always want to see a proof. So now I told the teacher, I said, listen, if I should keep him at home, the next thing would be you ask me to bring doctor's reports stating that he was sick. That was why I sent him to school. And the teacher had nothing to say. She just remained quiet on phone. So, my son is on his way back home now. But the thing, you know why I'm making this video? I've received phone calls many times from the teachers telling me one thing or the other, just like this scenario now. If I had kept my son at home, they would have called me and asked me to go get doctor's reports under this freezing weather condition. And if I do not get it, you see them look for one way or the other. You see them make problems, make serious problems. But then, if I were a white man, an European, the situation would have been different. They don't believe what an African man or African woman tell them. They want proof. But they believe their people, even without proof. That is why I'm making this video. They don't believe when we tell them the truth. Now, as my son now is coming home, they wouldn't ask me to go get doctor's reports proving that he is sick. You see it, the stress we go through in Europe here. I would have, if not that I sent him to school, I would have been asked by these teachers to go get doctor's report today or tomorrow. That is it. Well, this is the end of the video. Do you think I did wrong by sending my son to school, even when I know he is sick? Or What's your opinion? Catch you in my next video.